Right, listen to this. I want to talk to you about something pretty important. It was my mistake in Benidorm. This mistake cost me hundreds of pounds, and I want you to learn from it. Okay, learn from my mistake. So, if you're planning a trip to Benidorm, then listen very closely. Okay, let's start from the beginning. I arrived in Benidorm all excited and ready to have a great time. But the thing is, the beaches looked pretty much amazing like normal. The sun was shining and the food smelled literally delicious. It ruined my diet completely. But earlier on, I made a mistake, and a very costly one at that, because I didn't book my airport transport or my airport transfer ahead of time. Big mistake. So listen carefully. This is what happened. When my flight landed, I stepped out of the terminal, literally ready to go, and I thought it would be easy to find a taxi or a shuttle, but everything was packed. Literally, it was peak season. It was very busy and very expensive, and I literally waited around 30 minutes or so just to get in line for the cab, i.e., the taxi. But then when I finally got in, the driver charged me way more than he should have. Now, listen, in total, I paid nearly £150 for a ride that should have cost me only 90. Now you're thinking, so what's the big mistake? Well, you're going to find out, because this story gets deeper, and I'm going to share it with you, starting right now.
They're only 50p each.
50p each for a tile.
No?
Yeah, that's cheap, but you need more than one. So if you're going to get a few hundred of them, they build up, don't they?
Yeah, but if you get a few hundred, it's still only going to cost you. It's only going to cost you 100 quid for 200. It's 50p for 100, 50p for one. For 10, it'll be
I don't know. We need to calculate it.
10. It'll be a five.
Either way, it gets more expensive. So that's how they get you. Buy a tile for 50p, but when you realise you need literally hundreds and hundreds of them, then it builds up, doesn't it? Again, we're buying tiles, but we could go and book a flight for 50 quid to bloody Benidorm. But no, she wants tiles.
Yeah, but these are forever. Once you've been on the holiday, it's gone. You don't like them?
I don't know. Do you like them?
Yeah, I do. 13 quid for one.
So who's going to lay these tiles?
Me?
What, you're going to lay them?
Yeah.
So have you laid tiles before then, have you?
Yes.
All right, because I'm not paying someone to do it. We're going to have to figure it out ourselves. That's why I love YouTube, you know. Like years ago, you couldn't learn anything. You had to go to college or find a professional. But now you just go on YouTube and someone will teach you how to lay tiles or whatever.
It says for all subfloors, yeah, and it says levels and supports, so it's leveling as well. So if you've got a floor that's not uneven,
Okay, so we just have to lay this underneath the tile floor and then that should be fine.
the floor, yeah,
Well, that's easy enough, isn't it?
yeah.
She's looking at laminated flooring now. She wanted tiles 5 minutes ago. Now it's laminated flooring.
Oh, what tiles the hall?
Yeah. Look at all the wonderful tiles, flooring, all at your convenience. Just come to B&Q and pay the price and you can live in luxury. Do you know what? When I was less wise than I am now, I used to want to spend all my money doing my house up. But as I'm getting older, I'm starting to realise,
See this?
what's the point? Look, she's off again.
No, I'm just saying to you, this is LVT. Look, it's
Right.
not. It's not going to split or crack or. It's LVT. Look, luxury vinyl.
Can't believe how excited she gets about laminate flooring. Well, it's not that nice.
No, I'm just saying it's LVT.
Right.
Look, it's, you know what laminate flooring, it has like a layer on the top.
Yeah.
And it chips like that one we've
Yeah.
got. This doesn't chip.
All right.
Look.
I'm not bothered if it chips or not. I want to get on a plane and go on holiday. The only thing I like about B&Q is that it's got air conditioning on. I don't know why, because it's bloody freezing outside anyway. Just like magic, we're now in Poundland, which is more up my street. Why pay more for something when you can get it for cheaper? Poundland is so cheap, and have a guess what? Everything around you is literally what? A pound. You can't moan with a pound, can you? This is the thing. This is what I don't understand in life. You can go to some shops and they'll charge you an absolute fortune for something, but you go into another shop like Poundland, and it charges you a pound. It doesn't make bloody sense, does it?
No, I do look at my yummy.
Yeah.
Food's food.
Food's food, but money isn't money because money has value. I've just spent literally, well, I haven't, the missus has, about 10 quid in there, but you should see the size of the bag, the amount of stuff that she's got. It's unreal, isn't it?
Yeah. Raw salad.
We're actually in Liverpool. This place is called Speak, and there's an airport very close to here called John Lennon Airport. Now, listen, if I knew what I know now back then, I would have saved a lot of money because you can get a flight to pretty much anywhere, Spain, Benidorm especially, Lanzarote, and it's very inexpensive. Why is that? Because you're not flying from a major airport. In fact, you're flying from Liverpool Airport. So I wish I knew that before. So that was the first mistake I made. When I travelled to Benidorm, I flew from Manchester, which is a major city. And because I flied from Manchester, I paid the price. My flight cost £170. There you go. What a waste of time. Because if I went to John Lennon, which where we are now, an airport over there, which is a small one, that flight only cost £54. But I didn't know. I've learned from my mistakes. So there's another big loss that I've had. But again, you live in there, don't you? Another one was when I booked my last trip. Now, be aware I go to Benidorm a lot. My last trip to Benidorm, instead of doing it the normal way that I usually do it, which is the cheapest bloody way, I went through to a travel agent because I thought, you know what? Let them do it. Let them do all the legwork. Make my life easier. So I don't have to print my board and pass off. I don't have to worry about anything. It's all taken care of. And that's what most people do. You feel that wind there? It's bloody windy, isn't it? But that's what most people do. So I thought, okay, I'll be a sheep and I'll do what everyone else does. But there was a price to pay. Right, we're going back into good old-fashioned B&Q where we were before. And now we're coming back again. It's like a big circle, isn't it? But yeah, this is Speak in Liverpool. It's really nice. It's like anywhere, isn't it? You always have the same shops. It's always McDonald's. It's always Sports Direct. It's always Boots. It's always the same. They monopolised it, haven't they? They're taking over the world. You've got to be aware that I go to Benidorm a lot. So I always try and find the best, easiest, cheapest way to get there. Because if I didn't do it cheap, I wouldn't be able to afford it. I'm not that bloody rich. But if you look at my other videos, it'll tell you that, oh, I got a flight for this much, or say this paid this much for this hotel. So don't get them confused. I go away a lot. But this time around, I tried to do the common route. And what I mean by the common route, I did what everyone else does, is play it safe and book with the travel agents and let them take care of it. And again, I paid the price. Again, my flights were so expensive, you couldn't bloody make it up. I didn't get there any quicker. It wasn't first class. It was still the same bloody plane. The only difference was that the prices were so much higher. And do you know why they were so high? It wasn't the flight itself. It was because the travel agents were putting commission on it. And they were making more money than the actual flight itself were. Once you start looking into this and start figuring it out, you start to realise companies try and latch on to businesses. They'll literally take all your money and make something which should be relatively cheap and inexpensive, and they put their commission, their fee on top of it. But what are they actually doing? Because all they're doing is doing what you could do. It's not hard to book a flight and book a hotel yourself. Don't use travel agents. I'm telling you. Like I say, I did it this time. I'm not bloody doing it again. No chance. 50% off. Dead flowers. Actually, are they dead? Do you know, it's true this. If you give someone flowers, you're actually just giving them dead flowers.
Why not if you plant them?
Well, yeah, but they're just pulled out the ground. Well, can they rebirth, can they?
No, of course they're not dead.
They're not.
50% off.
Well, that looks dead,
Right,
doesn't it?
13
Look at it.
plants, pack of 6 and 9.
Oh, no. They're nice flowers, aren't they?
Yeah, I love them.
Look at it. It's like the Garden of Eden. Beautiful. They blossom in summer and spring, and they're gorgeous. And what do? They attract bees and the pollen. My garden's quite nice. I'll say our garden because it's me and the missus. I'll get told off if I say my. She's not. It's not my. It's ours. So I have to tell her that. So she's looking for the artificial grass because the dog Harley. Is that real grass? Our dog keeps on peeing on it, and when he wheezes on it, it makes like a yellow stain. So he's ruined it. What, £6.50 a roll?
One of them, yeah.
Is it? Oh God, yeah. There you go. £6.50 turf roll, approximately 1.5 meters. Is that right? There you go. Look at that, and that's real. It's good grass, that, isn't it? They're perennials.
I don't know.
That's what that is. A perennial.
I don't know.
I wish you could smell these. They're lovely. Look at that. Even though it's absolutely throwing it down where it's about to. Look at the clouds in the sky. I need to get on that plane and get out of here. It's so miserable in the UK. I should have rephrased that. The UK isn't miserable. The weather can be and is often very miserable. But for some reason, in this year, 2025, it tends to be a lot hotter. It's like the seasons are warming up, which is unusual. Because when I was a kid, we didn't have big long summers back in the 80s. But now, as I'm getting older, the seasons are definitely changing. The weather is changing. Well, she's off looking at flowers again. So I'm not going to say the travel agent that I went to because it's not fair. I'm not saying that they rip you off. It's just branded and sold in a way that makes consumers feel that they need to go through these travel agents. Now, I know it's easier, yeah. I know a lot of people are waking up and they're starting to think for themselves and organise their own holidays abroad without using the middleman. But there's still hundreds, if not millions of people who still prefer to use the holiday travel agents. And my mother is one of them. And yes, she's 70 odd. And I say, Mum, don't do it. Just get on the way I do it. Book your flight separate to your hotel. You'll save literally hundreds. But she's like, oh no, I'll do it this way, love, because they know what they're doing. I say, but you know what you're doing as well. You can do anything you want if you just think and think, okay, if they can do it, I can do it. Right? And that money that you're saving, you can spend it, can't you? Instead of giving it to them. Think about it. The money they're making off you, that's paying for their holiday. So you might as well keep that money for yourself and spend it on your holiday. A door that leads to nowhere. She's looking at doors now. I don't know why. They look solid, don't they? But if you actually hit them, there's nothing in them. They're just like an empty shell. They're not very strong. That plastic's probably more stronger than the bloody door itself. I'm sorry. I know this video is about what it says in the title, and it isn't clickbait. It's just that I have to follow the missus around. This is part of the job. If I give my wife what she wants, she'll let me do what I want. So I have to take her to B&Q. She wants a new kitchen. Right, so this is the outdoor bit. There you go. There's no kitchens in here, love. What, the breeze blocks? Have you seen this? This is a construction of a house. This is great. And it tells you everything you need. I love this. If I was you guys, if you're renovating your house or doing anything, just take a picture of that, because that tells you everything it takes to build your own house. You can do anything you want if you've got a plan. That's what I always say to people. I swear by this. Listen, the best way to predict your future is to plan it. If you've got a plan and you stick to it and it's very clear, then it inevitably has to manifest into physical form. In other words, it has to come true. If you can see it, you can be it. Now, some people think, that's not true. It is true. You make a decision. Once you see it in your mind and you plan it, you strategize it. In other words, I want to go on a holiday, but I don't want to pay more than £500. Can it be done? So if I go to the travel agents and say, right, I want to go to Benidorm, I want a nice hotel, flights included, all in all, 500 quid. They're going to turn around and say, ain't happening, mate. You can't get an holiday that cheap. But you can. You really can. You've just got to plan it. You've got to look outside the box. And how do you look outside the box? You have to think.
We're looking for breeze blocks.
Well, you want breeze blocks. What do you want breeze blocks
I'm
for?
looking to see the price that they are in here.
Well, they're going to be expensive in B&Q.
Not necessarily.
I don't know. B&Q, is it expensive?
Wicks now.
Wicks.
Amazing.
I'm sure B&Q own Wicks.
Do
I'm
they?
sure they do. Or they're interlinked. I don't know if that's true, but I have heard it. Someone told me. Or is it Screwfix? They're all sort of linked. It's like PepsiCo. They own bloody everything, don't they?
Amazing.
What's that?
Amazing.
Are they breeze blocks?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course they are. See that she's looking at bloody breeze blocks. She was looking at kitchens 5 minutes ago. I'm not interested in breeze blocks. I'm not interested in new kitchens. All I'm interested in
going
on holiday, getting a good deal, and sharing that knowledge with you because it can be done. Because I've done it over and over and over and over again, and I'm sharing it with you. Imagine if toilets were like that, public toilets. There was no walls. You had to just do your business in front of everyone. I'm not being funny. That'll probably happen one day. There'll be no privacy, will there? Right, I'm gonna go home in a minute because I have to take my dog for a walk. Okay, so what happened? How did I lose loads of money? First things first, in the beginning, the taxi transfer cost me an absolute bomb, and I knew better, but I didn't listen to my intuition, my knowledge. I just played the game and followed all the sheep and did what they did. That ended up costing me way more than it should have, and it was a bad experience because I had a bitter taste in my mouth. I was bitter because I knew I was being ripped off, but I didn't want to ruin the holiday for my friends, so I just sucked it up, paid the price. Then the next one, because I went with a travel agent, then they ripped me off as well. The holiday I paid for the hotel was just over £1,000. But when I went to booking.com, I saw the exact same hotel for the same amount of days, and it wasn't £1,000. It was 550, and that was for the same size room. So there you go, that's 450 quid. I've just been ripped off as well. And then the flights as well. When I said I saw the flight for like £55, something like that, but they charged me 170. There you go, that's another 120 quid on top of that. It's literally hundreds and hundreds of pounds. And now listen, on top of that, when I got my money exchanged, instead of listening to myself, which normally I would have just went to Spain or Benidorm, stuck my card in the machine and wouldn't pay any interest or exchange rate, I did what my mates did, and I went to the travel agents and I changed my money from British sterling to euro there. And again, the rate was high. It wasn't a lot of money, but it's still money I didn't need to spend. So a holiday that should have cost, which I could have got it for about 600 quid, ended up costing me 1,250 at least. And because I knew that, even when I was on the holiday itself, it ruined the holiday because I felt like I'd just been ripped off. You've seen these taps? That's the angle that they come out at. So then the water comes down there. So you turn it left for hot, right for cold, and you pull it back and go forward for the amount of pressure you want to come out. It's good, that, isn't it? And that's pretty inexpensive, £32 a tap. That's all right. I like that. It's interesting, isn't it? Finally, we're in the bathroom bit, but still the missus is being indecisive. She always does this. She drags me to B&Q and all these lovely shops, makes me walk around for hours on end, and then doesn't buy anything. That's my life all over. Anyway, moral of the story, if you're looking to go on holiday, do not go with the travel agents because they'll rip you off. Plan it ahead. Don't make my mistake like I did last time. Learn from my mistakes because I wasted literally hundreds and hundreds of pounds just by following other people and doing what seems to be the easiest strategy. But don't do it. Just book it yourself by going on skyscanner.com. That's where you book your flights. And then go on to booking.com to book your hotel separately. Dead easy. And when you, instead of getting a taxi from Alicante Airport, get the Alsa bus because it's only €7.50. €7.50. It's nothing, is it? And that'll take you straight into Benidorm from Alicante Airport. So I hope this helps you and I hope you learn something. If not, I do apologise. But there you go. At least you had a day out in B&Q with me and the missus. But until next time, guys, see you later.